Welcome to Burn On, Not Out, the podcast for high achievers who check the boxes, hit the goals, built the life, but know there has to be another way. I'm Brooke Dukes, your no BS business bestie, and I'm here to cut through the fluff with real stories, sharp insights, and the kind of truth that opens your eyes to a new way of creating success with ease and flow. No hacks, no hustle worship, no pretending constant activity is momentum. Just the raw, practical, and powerful shifts that happen when you stop leading from fear and start leading without the armor, with clarity and authenticity. Let's get into it. I was journaling today, and I always have a prompt typically, especially if I'm kind of feeling uninspired or the day before was just not all that inspiring, I guess. I'll look at some prompts, and I have certain things that I want to work on, right? So it is increasing my self-love. It is my frequency with money. And it's also my relationship to my body. And so a prompt that came up was, what if I trusted my body like it was a secret oracle, not a problem to solve? I was like, fuck, that is powerful. Because what I have done throughout my entire life is I've always controlled my body. So it was a vehicle. It was a vehicle to get attention, to get love, to get acknowledgement. I really never looked at it until maybe even the last 5 years or so of my life as truly the beautiful, amazing success strategy that it is, as that oracle, as really my compass, as my GPS, as my partner, not using my intellect, but using my body to truly understand what's right for me, what's not right for me, where do I need to go, what do I need to do? Because as a child, my biological father would consistently say to me, you need to, and this is even at the age of 4, you need to suck in your stomach, right? You're going to be fat like your mother. Well, the one, fucked up, like I can't even go into all of that. And 2, my mother was not fat. My mother was beautiful. She had a wonderful body. So I was taught from that very young age that just being normal, having a normal woman's body was wrong. And it was not only wrong, I couldn't be loved unless I controlled my body to make it something that it wasn't. Then fast forward to, I don't know if I'm aging myself, but Gloria Vanderbilt and Jordache jeans. It was so important to me that I fit in and look good. I wore 2 pair of long johns under my Jordache jeans so they would be tight enough because they didn't come in my size. Just to be accepted. I almost passed out from a fucking heat stroke when I was in middle school because I would wear 2, and I would wear them anytime I wore the jeans. Didn't matter if it was in the summer. Thank God we lived in Michigan then, because at least in the winter it kept me a little warm. My identity was so caught up with being small, being looked at as attractive from men and women. I did not feel worthy unless I fit a perfect mold. That was really doing so much damage to me. I didn't even realize it until menopause hit. And then I gained 25 pounds. Now, mind you, I probably needed to gain 10 because I was a bit underweight. I was just so focused on what this identity that I needed to be, this size, this type that I needed to be. And the interesting thing is my husband is, when I started going through menopause, we'd already been together, I don't even know, a few years. And When I first met him, he met one of my girlfriends, and she said, "Oh, isn't it great? Look how beautiful she is." And he was like, "Yeah." And her mind is so much better. And she's like, "That is amazing." Like, she wasn't even sure if he was being real, if it was just what he was supposed to say or not supposed to say. Well, fast forward a few years after that, I gain weight. I am not feeling good about myself at all. I no longer can control my body because everything I used to do before, I worked out as hard as any man. I restricted my food. I just, I drank because I liked to drink at the time, and it also restricted my appetite. Yeah, there's a health trick for you. And as I started gaining weight, I lost my identity, part of my identity. I didn't feel sexy, I didn't feel attractive. And I started to get pissed at my husband because he wasn't giving me the validation that I needed, that I no longer could give myself because I didn't look the way I thought I needed to look. And so everything I fell in love with him about, I was now shaming him. Why didn't you tell me I'm beautiful? I really went through a very difficult stage. I was so pissed that my body was not conforming anymore. I was so lost. I had no idea what to do about it. And I'm telling you this because I'm going to link this back to business, believe it or not. But I want to give you a couple more things first. So I really had to search and do some journaling about it and really think about it. And one of the crazy things that came up for me was, if I was thinking about what do I find attractive in a woman, I don't find really skinny women to be attractive. I think curvy women are more attractive, but I didn't give myself the same grace. I didn't look at myself in the same way. I would look at myself and say, your stomach isn't flat anymore, your butt has dimples. And what I recognized also was, at every stage of my life, I could look back and think, man, I looked good. But in that moment, I never gave myself that grace. I always could pick apart something that wasn't perfect because I physically needed to fit that mold of perfection or I wasn't worthy. I wasn't worthy of attention. I wasn't worthy of love. I wasn't worthy of success. I had myself convinced I wasn't even going to be able to get the same business. Who would want me on stage? I looked like a fat ass. I mean, crazy things would go through my head. Well, then, lo and behold, my husband starts not being as attracted to me. I'm thinking it's because of my weight. It's not because of my weight, it's because of how I was acting. No shit, because the reality of it is, once I was able to get control of that, with control, there's that word again. It's all over my human design. But once I came to accept and love my body again and really see it without that conditioned brain of what it needed to be, what it had to be, pay gratitude for it. My body gave me two beautiful children. My body has given me health and vibrance. There isn't anything physically I haven't been able to do in my life. It really is miraculous. And now my body is my GPS system. It shows me personally, professionally, exactly what is in alignment for me. It tells me what decisions to make, what decisions not to make. And what I recognized as I was journaling this morning is money is the same thing. People and money are attracted to the same frequency. That frequency of abundance and prosperity and love and gratitude, right? Love of self. That is the sexiest shit ever. I would bet that all of you could say, let's just take a supermodel who has a shit attitude. She's a little neurotic. She's all concerned about her weight. She may or may not have and I'm not saying this is all supermodels. I'm just using this as an example, so don't crucify me. Maybe she isn't as smart or witty or whatever the things. And then you have this curvy woman. Yeah, maybe her stomach comes out a little bit. Maybe she got a few dimples. Maybe she's got a few wrinkles, but she is funny as fuck. And she is fun and playful and confident. Which one are you going to pick? You're going to pick that woman because everyone loves that frequency. Same goes for men. All of us women out there, we have all had what we deemed as a 10 for a man that ended up being a complete dud. And we met a 4 that turned into a 10 because he had an amazing freaking personality. And he was funny and he was playful and we felt good when we were with them. What people want is, I like myself better when I'm with you. That means we need to be in alignment. That means we need to be our authentic selves. That means we need to love ourselves before anyone else can love us. That means as a leader in a company, you need to be building yourself up. You need to become the leader that your people need. You need to be following your strategy and your authority. You need to be confident in who you are and love yourself. Taking your strategy from your own intuition, being your own guru. There is nothing sexier than someone who knows who they are, who are unapologetically themselves, and who are living their purpose. I hope this helped you, and I hope you have a fabulous holiday. And do not worry if you eat too much. Thanks for tuning in to Burn On Not Out. If this resonated, check the show notes for tools and resources to help you slow down, trust yourself, and keep leading without the constant pressure and stress that wears you down. Remember, real success doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from slowing down long enough to see clearly and leading from clarity and peace instead of control and fear. I'll see you next week.